Since I made a list of the top 20 horror movies on Netflix, I had to balance things out with a list of the bottom 10 horror movies. This video is essentially a PSA. I've sat through each one of these stinkers, and now I'm warning you so you don't have to. Each movie is on Netflix as I'm recording this, specifically Netflix Canada. This top 10 list is also in order from bad to even worse. If you are upset with any of my movie selections, comment down below and I will send you my home address so we can fist fight on my front lawn. Alright, to kickstart my bottom 10 list, number 10, Paranormal Activity 4. I like the first Paranormal Activity movie. Like the first Saw, I think it unfairly gets lumped in with its bad sequels. Once they started churning out a Paranormal Activity sequel every Halloween, the quality lowered and they became more and more soulless. Number 4 is The Worst Offender. This is the one where it really felt like the series jumped the shark. It's the first one not centered around the original family. You might remember it as the one with the Xbox Kinect. This is also the last one I bothered to see in theaters. It is a pure cash grab full of cheap scares and nothing characters. Number 9, The Silence. This is a post-apocalyptic movie about blind monsters who hunt a family via sound. If you think that sounds exactly like A Quiet Place, you'd be right. This is just a shittier version of that. Everything, from characters to creature design, is a step down. This is somehow even worse than Bird Box. If anyone ever puts this on, don't just cover your ears, cover your eyes. Hell, cover your nose for good measure. Or just turn it off. Number 8, The Nun. The Conjuring Universe movies sometimes get flack for being formulaic. Personally, I've enjoyed most of them quite a bit, as beyond the jump scares, they usually have something else to offer. However, The Nun has nothing to offer. This movie is exactly what Conjuring critics are talking about. Sure, there are a handful of good scares, but my god, the story and the characters are painfully dull. There is no one to root for, no engaging mystery, no heart, no substance. I wanted to leave the theater so badly, but I stayed until the end hoping it would be worth it. It never was. The Nun is lifeless and hollow. Number 7, Stephanie. This movie has one of the worst ideas for an opening I've ever seen. The first half hour is spent exclusively with a small child alone in a house. It's hard enough for an adult actor to carry a movie by themselves. Watching a child actor walk around making sandwiches or talk to their stuffed animals for half an hour is incredibly dull. By the time 2 other characters finally arrived, I was so completely out of this. Even if it could, the next hour doesn't do much to save the movie. It's just a lame story about a kid with supernatural powers. This movie is a chore to sit through. Number 6, Girls with Balls. This one is a super upsetting addition to the list because what a waste of a great title. This is a horror comedy about a female volleyball team being stalked in the woods. This movie's biggest sin is not only is it unfunny, the jokes are so bad it's uncomfortable to watch. Cringe is an overused word nowadays, but I was cringing throughout. Joke after joke falls flat here. Number 5, Friend Request. This movie is about a popular girl whose Facebook page gets haunted by a ghost. Beyond having an incredibly dumb premise, Friend Request just feels insanely out of touch. You would probably think this was from 2007 rather than 2017. It feels like a movie written by adult men for teenagers. All the characters spend their time talking about Facebook and their status updates. As the story progresses, people's Facebook accounts start to get possessed, leading to their untimely deaths. In a world with new horror movies with dumb premises such as Haunted Magic 8 Balls or Haunted Phone apps, Friend Request is still the worst offender. Number 4, Open House. I fucking hate this movie. It might not be the worst movie on this list, but it is by far the most boring. It stars Dylan Minnette, aka Clay from 13 Reasons Why, who is the perfect lead for this. I've never seen him play an interesting character, and this movie has nothing interesting to offer. The title is bland, the premise is bland, the execution is bland, the ending rips off 6 other movies' endings. It's about a mother and son who start to hear noises in their house. Can you guess the reveal of what is making the noises in the attic? If you are above the age of 5, I can almost guarantee you guessed right. Number 3, My Teacher, My Obsession. As the title suggests, this is about a student who becomes dangerously obsessed with their teacher. Considering the budget of this compared to the others, adding this to my list felt like low-hanging fruit. but I had to do it. This is essentially an over-the-top soap opera full of crazy twists and terrible character decisions. It is so corny and unbelievable. The teacher character is a complete buffoon. If you are curious, I have a full review detailing just how batshit insane this obsession movie gets. Number 2, Slender Man. Slender Man is about the popular urban legend, and it is a movie that is about a decade too late. It completely missed the hype. Even worse, due to real-life events, several scenes had to be cut over fear of public backlash, and it shows. This movie is a total mess. The story is nonsense, the setup is super weak, it feels like we're missing information, the teen girls don't talk like teen girls, CGI Slender Man looks terrible within it, it's not even close to scary. There is one scare scene in particular involving a record player that is so unintentionally hilarious, I had to step out of the theater while watching. That is not an exaggeration, I was crying laughing from how bad it looked. This movie feels like a fever dream in all of the worst ways. And number 1, Wish Upon. This is about a teen girl who finds a magic wishing box with terrible consequences. This is a masterclass on how to make a bad horror movie. The acting is hammy and over the top, the plot points and decisions the girl makes are just baffling. Not only do the teen girls not talk like teen girls, they don't even talk like humans. The deaths are just PG versions of Final Destination. I could go on forever bashing specifics. There is enough wrong with this movie that 3 of the most popular YouTube review channels have 20-minute plus videos just picking this movie apart. It is the definition of so bad it's good, and that made it hard to rank. That is my list of what I think are the bottom 10 horror movies on Netflix right now. Do you agree? Did I miss any movies that you thought were particularly terrible? Do you disagree with any of my choices? Type your opinions in all caps down below. Please consider subscribing. I make new horror content on Fridays and I really do appreciate every new subscription. Anyway, that is the video. I will be waiting on my front lawn with a samurai sword.